This is Radio Energy, Edinburgh Napier Radio Group. Talk, tunes, tales, and talent. From Edinburgh to you.
Hello everybody and welcome to Game Jam. My name is Joshua and today we are having our Valentines / co-op game special. And I have a very special guest with me as well. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Natalia. I'm Joshua's girlfriend.
Hell yeah. And we're here to talk about co-op games since Valentine's is tomorrow. And she did me the favor, very special favor, of coming onto the radio show so I can have someone to talk to. And not be as lonely as I usually am here. Apart from you guys, of course. Anyways. We have a couple co-op game recommendations today, some that we have played together and some that have released just now that we are looking into and will play as soon as we can get the proper hardware for it. Not that it's not getting any more expensive nowadays because of AI bumping up the RAM prices, but oh well. I will tell you guys a couple news stories as well. The first one of which I'm going to tell you that Ubisoft has been suspected of cancelling a multiplayer co-op Assassin's Creed game yet again. And it's nothing new, to be honest. Ubisoft cancelling games, they've cancelled like half the stuff they release, to be honest. But we already have had a co-op Assassin's Creed game with Assassin's Creed Unity, which is subject to mixed opinion. I personally think it was great because I simply like the French setting in the Renaissance period, and the parkour was on point, particularly when playing online and racing people on the rooftops. And there's also been an incredibly fun PvP players vs players mode, which reached its peak in Black Flag, the best Assassin's Creed game, of course, and pirate game. Any hopes of gaining a new co-op experience in the series, however, has been pretty much squashed after a report revealed that an upcoming DLC for the newest entry called Assassin's Creed League was going to be released soon, right up until Ubisoft cancelled that. According to our sources, the reason was that the unnamed developer was simply taking too long. It wouldn't make sense to attach it onto Shadows after so long. An alpha was expected to be released sometime May this year. But not anymore, however. Now, Natalia, I'm going to ask you, first of all, what co-op games have we played together that have been really fun?
So obviously I don't really have like a proper gaming computer, so I don't have the facilities. But we've played Raft for a bit, and then it got really laggy on my computer. But we played Raft, we played Minecraft, we played...
A lot of Roblox. I feel like most couples play just like a lot of Roblox together because of how fun it is.
What game was it in particular? It was this tennis game, and we just like go 2v2 on random people.
We butchered people, I'm not gonna lie. We butchered the hell out of everybody.
That's how you know a relationship is good,
It's
when
strong.
you can play really well against two other people.
Exactly. Now you mentioned Raft there, which is one of the recommendations. Raft is made by Red Beat Interactive, and it's their only game actually, released ages ago. You could see like Markiplier playing it with his friends and all the big YouTubers and YouTube names. And it was a pretty fun survival game. It was in early access for ages, and then it launched finally. I played it a lot with my friend Logan, and it was severely annoying to see him do his best to try and get me to drown or to get eaten by the shark that circles you around. But Raft is fun. It's a survival game where you would never believe it, but you're on a raft in the middle of a huge ocean. And you've got nothing but a hook that you can throw stuff at, like the wood that's like floating on the surface or other materials, and use it to try and craft other like pieces of the raft, or try and craft cooking stations. And you learn fishing, then you learn how to build more tents, and then it like spirals into that. You learn more technology, you start finding islands and like big pieces of lore and stuff. Eventually, a whole city that's kind of like Atlantis.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you find a whole city. Because it's set after like a post-apocalypse or something, like a climate-just one. So there was just a massive flood, and you start finding bigger and bigger islands with like actual animals on it. Never another person, mind you, but you do end up finding like robots and stuff as well.
Ooh, goddamn.
It's really cool. It's a really cool game. And it's got a nice vibe to it. And then as soon as we upgrade your laptop, we'll play through it because it's quite fun.
Oh yes, I
And-
really want to play it.
Yeah, survival games are really fun to play together. One of my favorite co-op genres, in my opinion. Now, I have a good chunk of music to play for you today, and why don't we start it off with a song from a juicy survival game. This time it's Valheim, that's the Viking survival one. It's like kind of Minecraft-y. Not really. They are having an update potentially released this year called the Deep North. Hopefully, I would because I've been not playing it for ages now, and I would really like to play through it with like some of my buddies again sometime because it's been ages. But they also have a very nice soundtrack for each biome, and this one is The Meadows: A Place to Rest by Patrick Jarlstam. Beautiful atmosphere with that song, wouldn't you say, Natalia?
Yes, it was whimsical.
It was whimsical. We love a whimsical song. We got even a whimsical game to later recommend as well. Or maybe a couple. I would argue they're all kind of whimsical. For our next story, I never thought I would say this, but Overwatch is seeing a surprising resurgence after its new relaunch. You may remember how Overwatch went from just Overwatch to Overwatch 2, which people did not like, to say the least. Let's not get into it. But in all their beautiful wisdom, Blizzard went back on everything and did a whole makeover of the game yet again, this time removing the 2, so it's just Overwatch again, like how it's used to be. The relaunch, I should say, came with a new expansion-sized season called Conquest, which launches with a new event where you can side with factions to do challenges up to your score and get specific rewards. That being Talon and Overwatch being the factions, of course. That's about as much lore as we get from them. But some good new maps are coming this year, according to Blizzard. The biggest highlight, however, other than the whole game overhaul again, is the 5 new heroes that are going to be added to Overwatch at once. We've got like a tank that is using like floating ability devices that kind of look like Sigma, and I love Sigma. He's my favorite tank to play. We've also got a cat, a jetpack cat that you took quite the liking to.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it so much. I can't lie. I would not play a lot of these kinds of games. I'm just not really into that. But I feel like the jetpack cat was a really good decision on my part.
It was a very, very good decision. They have like DPS dealer that is like has like flaming fans and stuff. They've got a samurai healer, which I think was the most interesting one, and some like Soldier 76 wannabe yet again. And we don't need more. But other than that, this has actually brought in a lot of players and viewers, with Overwatch actually spiking ahead of Marvel Rivals, its biggest competitor nowadays, in the Steam charts, and briefly being in the top 10 most played. Never triumphing CSGO though, that game has never triumphed. Meanwhile, on Twitch, it's risen to the #1 most watched game, with around 100,000 listeners, and viewers I mean. Around 30,000 more than the second best entry, League of Legends. Now in my opinion, I am quite judgmental of everybody who's going back to them. This feels like a very toxic, abusive ex scenario of a relationship with a game. Because first, it was a gorgeous couple of months, like a fantastic honeymoon period, and then it was horrible. Then they completely changed, and you don't know what's happening anymore. They're lying to you. They're going back on their promises. It's disturbing even. And now this is like the "but I've changed, you gotta come back" phase, and everyone's falling for it. I'm gonna be pessimistic. I don't think it's going to last long, this. I think it's just a nostalgic wave. I think it's just a wave of nostalgia that people are hanging on to.
It's like Among Us.
It is like Among Us. What? How is it like
Well,
Among Us?
because like, don't you remember how everyone played Among Us, and then eventually it started making it very closed, and you had to pay to like have an account and to customize your character's name, and it just got a whole lot more unplayable, I guess.
And then people went back to it afterwards?
I think people only play it nowadays because it is the nostalgia, you know, like let's play Among Us like we used to or so.
No, I have a lot of mates back from high school that are probably playing it right now, I imagine. I don't know, I haven't checked. But we used to play that game quite a bit, so I have a deep relationship with Overwatch that is very negative, to say the least. That game is awful. I really want just like some new games to come out nowadays that are greater for hero shooters, which is why I like Deadlock quite a bit. Regardless, let's talk about some cool new games that have released. One being Roadside Research, which me and Natalia have been looking at and we really want to play. It came out yesterday. It's by Cybernetic Walrus. And would you describe the premise to me, Natalia?
Yes. So, well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I know that much, but I've been following along with it, and I really, really like. They've been having these adverts and people playing demos, and basically it's a gas station at a roadside managed by aliens, but you have to disguise that you're aliens, and it's a co-op game.
On a paper bag.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about as much as I know, but it's really funny, or so I've heard, and I'm really into it. I want to play it.
I think it's really cool too. They released a little roadmap as well. They're going to be done with early access at the end of this year, They're gonna have like seasonal updates, like for Easter and Halloween, and I imagine Christmas. The alien abductions are one of the things they're gonna add.
Ooh.
I really want to abduct the customer and just have him jailed. And there's also alien technology apparently, so we've got like laser guns and stuff. I wonder if we've got UFOs. I think that would be fun.
I think that would be so fun. It would definitely be a step up from that. We used to play this Roblox game, which we just managed a grocery store, and eventually I was so into it, but it got really tedious, and Josh got bored of it after a while.
I did get bored of it because you would just be like, I need to manage the store. Go on the till.
Go stock.
Go stock. Go on the till.
I need to deal with the customers.
One of the most popular simulator games is actually Gas Station Simulator. So this might be like the next step is that it's Gas Station Simulator by aliens.
Yes.
I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be really, really fun. Okay. Let's put on another song, shall we? You guys might have heard me talking last week about this game that's coming out called Mugenics, which, by the way, has sold like 300,000 copies. Or I think even 500,000 or even 1 million right now. It's like selling like hotcakes because it's made by Edmund Macmillan, the guy who made Binding of Isaac, which is like the roguelike game ever. That game was back on Flash. That's how old it was before it got taken down. Oof, Flash, R.I.P. Anyways, I've had the beautiful experience of playing through it a little. I'm gonna play through it when I come back home as well, and it has an amazing soundtrack made by a team called Ridiculon, and I've been looking through their songs. A lot of them are cat themed for this game, obviously. I don't feel like it's like the best idea to play it, but they do have some standalone songs that are really good, and I'm gonna play to you one or two of them. We shall see. With one of them being right now called Happy Anniversary. I love them. I am really glad that that game has exposed me to that music. I'll play some more for you guys later. Now, let's talk about another genre of co-op games, that being tabletop games. I am a massive nerd, so I've been following Dungeons and Dragons and the like ever since I figured out what it was. I have a Dungeons Master's kit, I have special dice, you know how it is. Right now I'm playing a campaign from Into the Avernus, which is themed around Baldur's Gate 3, so there you go, it is linked. And Natalia's also playing a campaign, and she'd like to tell you guys something about it.
Yes, so there's actually a variety of tabletop games other than D&D that you can play. The one I'm playing right now it's like a sequel to a game, I think, from, what's it called, Tales from the Loop, and then this one is Things from the Loop. The other one's based in the 80s, this one's based mid-90s, and basically it's kind of Stranger Things-esque. It's about a group of teenagers you can either choose the setting of rural Sweden, or you can choose, I think, Nevada. So basically what happens is there's mysteries in the town, such as murders or kidnappings that have been happening alongside the sci-fi setting. So in this universe, there's something called the Loop, and it's this really big particle accelerator that covers this entire town. It's like underneath the ground, and they have buildings that, manage the Loop. There's been this brown, strange goo, like mud, what's it called?
It's like yucky water that comes out. I think it's called the Flood, to be honest.
The Flood. Oh my god, I think the first one is called Things from the Flood, and this one's called Things from the Loop.
I don't know.
I can't tell. I can't remember the first one. But the second one that we're playing is basically a sequel to that. And it's where, basically the part of Sweden that we're playing in has this flood, and it's called the evacuation zone, where all the residents have had to evacuate their houses. And essentially, this is a part of, it's based in mid-90s, so you have everything that's nostalgic and accurate, but because it's sci-fi, you also have a lot of robots that have been previously used and discarded. You have something called magnetrine ships, which are these huge ships that float and move around based on the North and South Pole, like magnetic fields. And yeah, I think that's about it for the sci-fi, is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's also like the robots that do everything for you, and there's the
not necessarily in the game, but yeah, the particle accelerator is the biggest thing, like the Loop. That's why these group of teenagers live within the Loop, and they have all these kind of sci-fi things that are happening. I haven't gotten to part of the game where this has been revealed, but there's stuff about hive minds and also
haunted games and
things like that, very strange happenings. Yes,
and clones potentially.
Things
There's
like
a lot
that.
of freaky things.
It's very cool.
Scooby-Doo-esque in that you're a group of kids and you're trying to figure out these strange things.
And they have really cool features of the game. There's something called loop disorder, and there's also something called machine cancer. So the art for this game is actually very cool. They have machines, right? And if they get machine cancer, I'm not quite sure how it's transmitted, but they get this like kind of human flesh-like growth on them, and they bleed like a normal human. It's very strange, and the machines don't work properly. Loop disorder, in fact, is when people start to go a bit crazy, a bit cuckoo, and I think it's because it's from the goo. I think it's too much exposure from the goo or something like that. But the lore behind this is really crazy. Loop disorder is not actually a real, like, proven scientific theory. It's just scientists have theorized about it in this world.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting that you talk about the artist or the art in this, because the entire universe is actually all possible thanks to a Swedish artist called Simon, I'm going to butcher this, Stalenhag. Simon Stalenhag is really popular for his eerie, retro-futuristic digital paintings that are fantastic, and they're set in this sort of like 80s super future universe. It's a bit post-apocalyptic as well. And from these paintings, they actually ended up making these tabletop games, Things from the Flood and Things from the Loop. And they even had a really unsuccessful Netflix show about it because
Oh, yeah.
it was really poorly casted and it had nothing to do with the actual like vision or the vibe of the paintings. Big shame. Hopefully there'll be a video game about it in the next couple of years so I can play through that. But yes, tabletop games are a fantastic way of playing co-op.
Oh, for sure.
Even
yeah.
though we don't play together, it's really nice to hear about each other's campaigns. So
Oh,
in a
yeah.
way, we kind of are. We are part of the same society for it, though. So fair enough.
Yeah. Every time after a session, we always debrief on each other's campaigns and what's happened.
Yeah.
My group recently did a one-shot because we didn't have all our members. And I can't lie, the one-shots are a lot more interesting than the actual campaign
'cause of
because
the
it's a lot
fast
more
pace.
quicker paced and you learn more things. And it's a really fun game, I think, if you don't have the facilities or if you feel overwhelmed and thinking, oh God, that's like a really detailed or hard game to wrap my head around. Tabletop games are a really great way of kind of getting into that, and definitely a social aspect of it is the really best part, actually. Because, sometimes you just want to
plays D&D
socialize and whatnot, and you can do it really easily when you're playing games with people. You don't have this pressure to, like, talk about something about yourself or whatnot. You can just play this character.
Yeah. And look how passionate it's gotten Natalia after. And she's never really played D&D before. I mean, she's played D&D once or twice, but never really been that passionate for it.
Oh, yeah, and
I convinced her. Tell me.
I never used to be into like sci-fi things either, but this has really gotten me into it because you really get into the world of it. It's not like watching someone else do it. Sometimes I get bored watching you play games. I'm sorry, but
You don't really watch me play games.
I know,
so
like
fair enough.
sometimes I sit up and do, or you try and explain things to me, and I'm just like,
yeah, obviously, no,
and I
it
don't
would be
get
better
it,
if
but
you play through it yourself. That's why I want you to get a better laptop. So
yeah.
You don't have to watch me play games.
I
Sometimes.
do like watching him play Baldur's Gate though sometimes, and The Witcher.
And Baldur's Gate
would
3
say.
is really good, and so is The Witcher 3. I'm still not finished.
Yeah.
But anyways, we've been yapping for a long while, so I'm gonna play you guys a song to ease up. This time it's from hit platformer from the indie genre. It is Katana Zero's original soundtrack. Is being overdosed by Ludovic. Fantastic soundtrack. Don't you say? Don't you think, Miss Natalia?
Yes.
Miss Natalia Alexandrovna?
Full government name.
Full government. I gotta drop it. Let's talk about our next news story, this time being about Highguard. Yet again, doing a little follow-up, because 2 weeks after launch, Jeff Kinley's favorite shooter of 2026, with the dev team Wildlight Interactive, has been subject to a number of firing incidents, that being that they have fired an undetermined amount of developers due to financial constraints. Surprise, surprise. The game's not doing so good, with a player count of only 3,600 players. Not a number expected by a AA dev team composed of some of the industry veterans that worked on culture hits like Apex Legends and Titanfall. Now, there's not much really to this, since we don't actually know yet how many developers they have sacked, unfortunately. But this comes after a wave of updates and social media posts that they were going to, their plans for fixing the game and updates that they wanted to do. They switched it quite quickly from free versus free to 5v5 or 6v6, I'm not sure. And just made it in general updates pretty quickly with regards to player feedback. So, that's always a good thing. Not everybody does that. However, that has not been quite enough, even though I figured it would have balanced itself out, as at first during launch, it got review bumped to hell and back, with it staying at mostly negative on Steam, but has recently turned to mixed, as people were playing it and being like, well, it's not that bad, but that's the bad thing about a game like that. If it's not good and if it's not bad, it's going to be mediocre, and if something's mediocre, you're going to forget about it. And if something's forgotten, then that's even worse than being remembered for being a very poor release. And there's always, you could pull a No Man's Sky or a Fallout 76 and make yourself an actually decent game after years of determined development. One of the developers has reportedly blamed their downfall not on the lack of social media posts or the lack of advertising or communication after Game Awards, because they went radio silent. And also not on the quality of the game itself, but they blamed it on the negative attitude of the player base and on social media in general regarding the audience that watched it. Which, I kind of get it. I mean, there was a bit of hate mongering regarding it. I was subject to that too. But it wasn't really based on nothing. It was based on the fact that the game just didn't look like anything unique, or did not look like anything that we need right now. But we shall see if Highguard can stay afloat even when it's a couple or more developers short. Now let's talk about a very fun co-op game. Well, it's not a co-op game, it's a single-player game technically, but we played it together, didn't we, Natalia?
Which one?
Date Everything.
Yes!
By Sassy Chap Games.
Mm-hmm.
That game was really popular for about a month or two. It was very trending.
Oh, yeah.
The whole game is regarding you living in a house and exploring, and you have these glasses given to you by some weird science company that let you humanize, the objects in your room, or even concepts like nightmares. Basically, you walk around, you see a chair, let's say, or you see a fridge, right? You go up to the fridge, and you start filling up this meter by just looking at it, and then it pops out, and it's a huge guy with some of the best designs I have ever seen. The character designs for each of the datables, I should say, the hot stars. It's like playing Love Island, to be honest.
It is
in your own house.
It's always so fun to see the reveals of each character, because you're just thinking, oh my god, how are they gonna make this person hot?
When you romance the fridge, it turns into this giant muscly Yeti man with abs and stuff, and it's so good, man. That was one
Josh's
of my
favorite character.
And he always asks you you hungry? It's
I'm like, yes.
It's so ridiculous, but it's quite charming. Mm-hmm. And we had two favorites, didn't we?
It was the bed.
Ooh. I would say that's my number 3. The bed was number 3
really?
for me.
I thought we really liked her whenever she popped up.
I think we did because of just how direct she was.
Yeah.
And because she had that southern accent.
Oh, she did. She had that southern accent. And also, I love my bed, so to me, it's just the coziest thing ever. What was the other favorites?
Our other favorites was, of course,
Johnny Splash.
Johnny Splash. I love Johnny Splash. If you go and try and romance the shower, not the shower curtain, that's a different thing. If you try and romance the shower, you get like Elvis. You get an Elvis wannabe because of, you know, singing in the shower. So they made a character based off of that, and he uses the, what do you call the shower thing that spews out water, Natalia? The shower head.
Yes.
He uses the shower head as a microphone, and he's like dressed in shower curtains, and he's wet. He's got wet hair and everything.
Oh, you know shower mats as well. I think there's a bit of like shower mat texture on him somewhere.
And for a necklace, he has like a cord or the plug. For a necklace.
Oh, you're right. The drain.
It's so stupid, like when we describe it. But search up Johnny Splash Day everything, and he just looks perfect. Our team did such a good job with the character development, and he's so good.
I love his voice acting the most.
It's just so Elvis. Like he at one point goes like, "Yeah, watch out, bro, chacho." Or bro cha cha, I wouldn't want to assume.
You need to do it in the Elvis voice.
No, I can't do the Elvis voice. No, But he does go ooh mama like every 5 seconds. He's so good. There's even technically a nightclub in the spark socket in one of your rooms, and he plays at it or something because the data balls also like interact with each other. And regarding apart from Johnny Splash, whom we love. It is also Jean-Luc Pissoir.
Jean-Luc Pissoir.
AKA your toilet. And if you romance your toilet, you get a French rapper.
I'm so obsessed with him. He's really sassy, and he just says, like, crapper a lot.
He's got a really strong French accent. It's fun as hell. And to romance him, you have to beat him in rap battles. It's really cool. See, with that game, you can either romance people, make them hate you, or you can become friends with them instead. It's really cool. Like the door, for example, really wants you to be friends with him, but people have found a way to romance him. And it is really stupid. Or I made the light bulb hate me, remember?
Oh my god, yeah, but he was like this really
twink.
He was a twink. Yeah. I love twinks, but but like he was really he was really fruity. Like they really upped his character design like that. But I think that's really cool, to be honest, because it's like he had this very like vain characterization, and like you could either love him or you hate him.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my favorites. I think that was it. Johnny Splash and Jean-Luc Pissoir.
I quite like the Voltage guy as well, who had like hair made out of lightning. Because he was he? The charge plug or something?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Probably.
It was so stupid. Eventually in the game, you can also make them human.
We really liked the water.
The water girl. You
girl.
can romance your bath water by putting in some water on the tap, turning the tap and having the bathtub filled with water, and then you romance the water, and it's like
she was so mysterious.
She was mysterious. And
she was
sad because she could never figure out if she wants to be cold or hot.
Yeah, very sensitive.
Medium, and she always asks people that.
There's always like this characterization and storyline about how these characters feel based on what they are, and I think that's like such a cool way to look at it. I've even seen some like online like social media posts and stuff about people saying I've played Date Everything too much and now I keep looking around my room and hearing the voices from like looking at my furniture, which is crazy. It's so crazy to think about.
That's a little like too lonely to play the game, but I would really recommend it to play this with your partner because it's just so cute.
Yeah.
Like they have beautiful voice acting, by the way. Each dateable is voice acted and it's just gorgeous, and you can really go at your own pace. And there's over like 110 dateables or things you can turn into a dateable.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of characters. Like, you can play this for ages and ages. And there's something called realizing them when, you play to a certain extent that you fill up, is it the relationship bar or like friendship bar?
Yeah.
And when you reach the end of it, they get realized so they can turn into actual humans, and you hear a little like prologue about how they are in the real world.
Yeah, it's cute. I don't remember if we did that with anyone though.
I think we did that with 1 or 2 characters, but I can't remember much, to be honest. Yeah. And there's good representation in Date Everything as well, I would say. They have like diverse culture in it, which is really nice to see. And also, what was it? The computer character has a wheelchair, which is just really sweet.
Which is perfect as well, because obviously he'd be in a wheelchair since he's in a computer and he sits down all the time, right?
Yeah,
Makes
there's relations to it for sure. But it's really cool to see the diversity. To
what
be
else
honest.
was there? There was the if you romance like a mouse hole in your house, you get this you get this midget like Italian. I don't know if I can say that. It's Italian like dwarf person. So funny.
Yeah. And he like
So funny.
swears every 2 seconds, and he's like,
Danny
what?
DeVito.
What? Oh my god, he looks like Danny DeVito. He's so funny because he was like, "I love you" or whatever and then like swears every 2 seconds, but I love him so much.
It's lovely.
I'm gonna romance him next.
And each of the datables has their own theme, and they're all pretty banging. And I'm gonna play them from two of our favorite datables, that being Johnny Splash and Jean-Luc Pissoir. Both of these songs are made by Garrett Williamson, so check that out. This is Johnny Splash's theme, or Hunka Hunka Wet Hot Love. And here is the next song, that being Crapper's Delight, or Jean-Luc Pissoir's theme. Beautiful. Which one do you prefer out of those?
Definitely the Jean-Luc Pissoir one. I really like the sound effects.
I like the pissing, yeah. And the fart. There was one with reverb as well. That's my favorite one.
Ooh.
But to be honest, I prefer Hunka Hunka Wet Hot Love because of the name and also because I like the dancing from it. But we have, let's quickly just bust out 2 co-op game recommendations all in one. First, I'll chat about a new release, actually. It's called Yap Yap by Myson Bap, who has previously made Bap Bap, which is a roguelike party game. And this time he made a game like Lethal Company. You know, you go in, you find loot, you go out, that kind of game. That's based on wizards and like a little bit of a fantasy theme. You're little wizards with like dunce heads and stuff, or dunce caps. And you just walk around. You have wands, and it's voice activated, the spell casting, kind of like another game. I think it's Wizard Arena. And there's a couple of these games now since it got popularized by it. And I think this is a very nice blend. You go in and you have to cast spells to try and get out of the situation alive. So you have to go like arrow or like up dog in order to try and fly. And there's just really funny phrases sometimes. It's a good little co-op game. I think it's quite fun. You can go wham wham and summon a giant hammer and smash your mates in the face. It's funky. You can turn people into fish. It's cute. I like it. It has a really nice art style as well. So go check that out. And I'm also going to do a little double recommendation, and it's a co-op themed episode, so I would rather shoot myself than not mention these 2 because they're really my favorite ones. By Hazelight Studios, we have both It Takes Two and A Way Out, which are some of the best co-op games in the entire genre. Hazelight Studios, they are like the standard. They are the gold standard of what a co-op game should be. They're both co-op campaigns, that being they're entirely based around it. That's the entire theme, is that you're playing with your friend and that you develop a stronger friendship after something like that. That's how I played it with my mate Logan, of course. We played through the entirety of A Way Out, which is like prison break game, which the half of it is really the prison break, and the other half is doing like cool James Bond spy thriller stuff. And at the end, the ending is really good, but I won't spoil it in case you guys haven't played. Really good. The characterizations is great. The theme and the soundtrack also fantastic. On theme, beautiful. And now we also have their sequel to that. Well, sequel. It's set in the same universe technically, but they have a couple Easter eggs, but it's a completely separate game. It's called It Takes Two. And you play as a father and mother of this cute young girl. You're going through a hard time at life, and I think you're on the verge of divorce. And the kid is like, no, I don't want my parents to divorce, and like says a little wish. And the next time you wake up, both of you are her favorite toys. Like being little like yarn dolls, kind of. And you have to get through a bunch of stuff, like fight through like chess, go through like multiple challenges, whether it's like climbing or racing or trying to do like Portal-esque puzzles. There's a lot to go through, and it always keeps it fresh. That's the thing with these games that by Hazelight Studios. They always keep each level fresh and distinct, introducing new mechanics and new fun mini games to play with your friend as well. I would heavily recommend them. They are really cute, heartfelt, beautiful stories as well, and just a lot of fun to figure out with your friend or close ones. And now, I believe that is more or less we're coming along to the end of our radio show, perchance. Perchance. And I don't really have much else to say, to be honest. What about you, Natalia? Any closing remarks?
No.
No?
Not really. I don't have much else to say. Again, Josh did the radio prep, and he's the man in the chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Couldn't have done it without you here to
thank you.
about all the best stuff and play off of me, Natalia. But we will play a song that we both quite like for different reasons, actually.
Yes, for very different reasons.
It is Phantom Liberty by Dawid Podsiadło, who is a Polish singer, pop star kind of.
Yes.
And he worked on one of the main songs for Cyberpunk 2077's expansion, Phantom Liberty. It's the same name. I like the song because, first of all, it's a really good song, and Dawid Podsiadło is a great singer, but more so because I love the expansion, as Cyberpunk is one of my favorite RPGs ever. Beautiful open world game, and Phantom Liberty was the point where they fixed everything. The 2.0 launch was magnificent, and the DLC itself, amazing. I love the lore, I love the gameplay. No, it's fantastic. And Natalia likes it for a completely separate reason. What do you say?
Well, I really like David Pochadło. To be honest, Josh put me on David Pochadło by showing me this song. So this was like the first songs I've heard of him. But I'm partly because I'm learning Polish as well. So I've been trying to get more into like songs because for me, music is easier to learn a language through. But I listened to Phantom Liberty and then I started listening to all his other music and I really, really like him. And we're going to see him in the summer.
Yeah, we're going in June to Poland for a concert with him. It'll be really fun.
And I hope he plays this song. That would be so good. I don't think he plays it live.
Because it's a video game song, especially with that.
Yeah, but it's one of his most popular songs, you know? So if he started doing it, then... Exactly.
We should also say that a member called P.T. Adamczyk played in the song with him. I believe he did the instrumental. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. My name was Joshua.
And I'm Natalia.
Natalia, indeed, yeah. And this was Game Jam. Thank you for listening to our Valentine's special. Next week, we are not going to be here, or at least I'm not going to be here, because we have reading week, the both of us. But I'll come back the week after, so don't worry. I'll be back soon with more gaming news and game recommendations and tunes. Hope you guys listened and had a lovely time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Found out treasures are always lost. Pleasures and rage come back. I'm watching you. Be careful with your moves tonight. I think the time is right. I think the blood is dried. It cries for more. So what are we waiting for? Wires and chains starting to fade. It feels like a game you have to play. Lights out. Is this who you really are? Can't look into your eyes. Your twisted mind. It's dark, so dark. We ended now. It ends right here, right now. Please tell me you brought the end. Slide up the sky. You fade into the night. Wires and chains starting to fade. It feels like a game found out treasures are always lost, pleasures are long forgotten.